we're sitting here with Elisha Hudson. How's it going today?
Good. Happy to be here, JD.
Hey, we're at her place right now, overlooking the marina sunset. But one thing with the podcast that we're going to be talking about is how business is an art. And everybody as an artist, they have to perfect their craft. So my belief is that you have to paint your future, and you are definitely one of the examples of people that have been painting their future. So before you even introduce yourself, something that was amazing, you had an amazing month back in December. How did that look? What did you do when you were painting your future in December?
Well, I paint my future with, what my aspirations are. That was a huge month for me. I mean, financially, I did the best I ever did in the company, being 4 years in. So
Nice.
A lot of times people get burnt out, but I'm still trying to master that next level.
And that best month, what did that look like numbers-wise?
I made about $60,000 in commission. I placed about $76,000 in total business.
Dang.
So yeah.
And then annuities was part of that too, right?
Annuity is basically, if you're not familiar with the business, it's a rollover from another account. So I rolled over about $1 million and then placed another $25,000 in life production.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty nice. I got to pay off my car, put some money down toward a property. So it was able to let me do a lot of things. It was cool.
Nice. Well, congrats on the big month. One thing that I like to draw out is called Canvas Connection.
Mm-hmm.
So what's connected you to this canvas, whether it's retirement planning, financial industry? Where did you start? How would you introduce yourself?
Well, I started actually playing around with the idea about 10 years ago when I was a personal trainer. I was always interested in the financial industry. I knew it was very lucrative. I like helping people. I didn't always have the right opportunity back then, so I finally got the right opportunity in 2018 with Assura, recruited by my upline Josh Manzano. So kind of paved the way for me, but it was just out of curiosity. Like, I wanted to learn more. I knew there was more out there for me,
Mm-hmm.
and what I could do in my ability. And I love helping people. So, I get rewarded by helping people the way I see it.
So you went from helping people with their fitness and personal training to now helping people with their finances doing this.
Yeah, exactly. It's still very customer service. You're still putting the person first, but it's a new avenue, and this is a little bit more geared toward their family and their financial future. So it's funny that your podcast is called Paint Your Future, because that's what we do for our clients. We paint the picture like, this is what's going to happen to you if you die, your family, and we paint that picture for them. Protecting assets from the market. It all goes with basically future pacing their financial futures and their kids' future and their legacy that they leave. So it's all about that. And I didn't really know all that when I first started, but the more I get into it now, I really realize the value that it brings. So
Right. And then you're talking about finances and painting or future pacing their stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I'm a person, I just started making money, I'm a business owner, right? As a person that's owning a business and they want to paint their future and basically get the most out of their money, what are the different ways they can do that? I mean, obviously insurance is, for your family mostly if you die. But what are the different ways with retirement plans or just investments?
Yeah.
Is there something you could share with that?
Definitely investments in general. We have a lot of tax-free retirement vehicles, products like that. We also have investment vehicles like annuities where they could protect their assets, they can earn greater interest, or, just avoid market crashes, which some people like the market game and some people don't. So you do have options. Just to educate them and let them know, hey, you do have options with your finances. So
Okay, good. Now, I did want to kind of get into some case studies, some specific situations that you help people with. We don't have to disclose names. We don't have to disclose exact numbers. But let's start off, because this is probably the majority of people that will hear this.
Uh-huh.
Somebody that's in their 30s, they're running a business and they're starting to do great. Where would they put the extra money after they pay their bills?
I mean, they could put it into an IUL. It's a perfect tax-free retirement plan.
And what does that stand for again?
Index Universal Life. So basically, it's a universal life policy that participates in the index. If you want more instant liquidity, you could do a participating whole life.
Okay.
So you get money right away. You get your money access right away with that. So we use participating whole life to help pay off debt and other things of that nature. So it's a guaranteed interest rate that you get. It's pretty cool. So those are two different vehicles that you can do depending on if you want to pay off debts right away or if you want to save for the long term for retirement, which would be more geared toward like an IUL.
So the IUL, the Index Universal Life, will be long term for retirement, and the participating whole life is for paying off debt, like right away.
Yeah.
Put your money in and then use it.
You can use it within the first couple months. So.
Yeah, because there's been a few videos, and actually one of my friends called me and he was saying that, hey, I heard there's an insurance where you can get the insurance, but you use the money right away, and how does that work? So he had all these different questions, and I'm like, you know what, let's talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So, set up an appointment, man.
right. We'll set an appointment. We'll be good. But let's say, like, how does this work? If somebody has, for example, I have $10,000 of debt, and I make an extra $2,000 a month, what does that look like? And let's say we wanted to pay off the debt. Is there an example you can like simply put?
So I'll give you an example with one of my clients. You know, he's in his 60s. He wants to retire when he's 72. He's paying an additional $2,000 a month right now for his debt. So he's paying an additional $1,000 toward his loan. Plus he has like 5 credit cards.
Wow.
And based on his timeline, it'll take him 30 years. With our product, with the participating whole life and the debt-free life program, he's going to be debt-free in 10 years.
Wow.
So it's a huge difference, you know?
Yeah.
So they would basically just redirect that money into the Par Whole Life, which would be their bank, a personal bank for themselves.
So they create their own bank and they use the insurance to pay their money.
The
pay
cash
their debts
value.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then how does it work? So that goes in the market and it increases on a...
No. So the participating whole life, it's 2 different things, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the participating whole life that creates a guaranteed interest from the insurance company.
Okay.
And dividends that are paid from the insurance company. So dividends are basically profits from, say, ABC company, right? Whatever profits are, that gets paid into your cash value. Index universal life, the cash value participates in an indice or index like the S&P 500. So 2 different ways of gaining interest. So,
okay,
you know, it can be kind of confusing. I mean, the best way to do it is definitely set up an appointment and we can sit down and go through it with them. But yeah.
And I mean, the biggest thing with these 2 options is that you don't have any risk. Is that kind of...
There's no risk. No,
okay.
There's a guaranteed floor of 0%, so you can't lose money no matter what. And actually, with the participating whole life, you have a guaranteed % every year.
Okay.
It's guaranteed interest.
And then it's just you could future pace and see how fast it'll take you.
Yep.
That's how your clients save 20 years.
Exactly, yeah. So we have a program called Debt Free Life Software. We're the only company that has that software, which is pretty cool. Wow. I know debt is like a huge thing right now, like for our country, for everything, right? So we're the only ones that have access to this software, but it illustrates for them the timeline, right? How they're going to pay off each debt, how much the payoff amount is going to be. So it's pretty cool, yeah.
And I would say, I mean, you've been doing this for how long? 5 years or?
4 years, basically, in a couple months.
Okay. Because I want to talk about the beginning, when you were starting. Mm-hmm. Where did you get into it and you're just good like this right away, or how did it work?
No, not at all.
What was the beginning like? What were those first few struggles that people could expect if they're going to jump into this industry?
Well, when I first started, you know, I wanted to make $100,000. That was my goal, and it seemed like a lot of money at the time. I'm like, wow, $100,000 sounds cool. That's what most people want to do. I've never made that before. You know, being in the fitness industry, I thought $50,000 was good, right? So I said I want to make $100,000. I came in, I learned the process. I didn't learn it very quickly, to be honest with you. It took me about 4 months to really make commissions. I started in January. I didn't make any sales till like March.
Wow.
So it was a lot of training, a lot of struggling, a lot of getting beat up on the phone, people telling me to, nah, I'm good, you know. So that was really the beginning, right? And then in April, somehow something clicked. And I just started, I think I placed like $16,000 that month. And then from there, every single month, I just kept going. Wow. And it kept getting better, you know. And I actually did hit my goal of $100,000 the first year, so.
Your first year, you made $100,000, clearly.
Yeah, even though I didn't start very good, right?
Right. But 4 months, you mentioned 4 months. So what was that like? How did you keep up with bills? Like, what was in your mind to keep you going? Because 4 months is a while. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of the person that once I put my mind to something, I have tunnel vision. I just go, and I figure out how to make it happen. So it was hard financially, you know, to pay my bills. There were times I couldn't afford rent. You know, I had to live week to week in an Airbnb at one point for like maybe a month or 2. So just trying to make ends meet. You know what I mean? It was really hard. So, and then I don't know. I don't take it back for anything though, because I feel like it made me who I am today. Yeah. And now, like, when I look at the financial success that I've had, I'm like, wow, that path, like, made it worth it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it definitely is not easy starting up. I think for some people it's easier than others, right? I maybe wasn't as coachable at first. Could have been one of the parts, you know, so. Right.
And was there a moment that you could remember where that clicked in your head? Because you said April was the month. Yeah. And you did 16,000 in 1 month, where people don't make that sometimes in 6 months, you know?
Yeah, no, so, it was basically just you get into a rhythm, right? Like you kind of know what's working. One thing, the way I've always like kind of determined my path with my career is by my bank account. Like, I know if my bank account's going the right way, I must be doing something right? So, I just kept seeing, like, you know, I was closing deals, clients were happy, I seemed to be continuing to get in front of new people all the time. So it's just I guess a flow, you could call it, right? You get into a rhythm, and I just stayed with that.
Like momentum.
Yeah, I built momentum, and I just stayed with it. I didn't question it. I just kept going, you know.
Wow, okay.
So.
And then now, I mean, you're doing stuff outside of just producing. You have a team. You have an office here, not too far from.
Yeah, office down the street along the coast there. Yeah. So it's a beautiful drive. Got to see the ocean the whole way.
Yeah, and now as a builder, is it a different skill set? Now that you're building a team, you're helping others, you're coaching them?
I mean, it's the same skill sets as far as the practical skills of the sales process. When you build a team, everything is the same that you did before, but you just duplicate it to the person that you're helping, right? So you're just helping this person. Hey, I hired this agent. I'm going to help them do this too. It's teaching your trade to them. Okay. So it takes a lot more patience and more the ability to give. So I think as far as the skill of closing a deal, it's not the same skill set, right? So being able to relate to people, care about them, that's definitely more in the characteristic of a builder, if you're building a team, rather than being a sales agent. But the skills are the same.
Okay.
So.
And then now, I mean, you've been in it, you said you're about to hit 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Well, 4 years and 2 months, because I started in January 2018. So yeah, it was 4 full years in January.
Okay. One of the episodes, it was one of the guys, Sam. He said you have to say it before you could see it. Then once you see it, you could start to seek it. So it's like, I like to paint my future by saying what I want to get to. For you, if you were to have your masterpiece and everything was in line, what does that look like to you? Like, how would you describe it?
I mean, I don't know. See, I take life in stages because there's so many things I want.
Let's say 5 years.
So 5 years from now, you know, I want to have 4 properties. I want to start, you know, investing more in real estate. I already have one down this year. I'm working on another one at the end of the summer. So, you know, I definitely want to do more for myself financially, but also as far as what my team looks like, I'd like to have a team of at least 50 agents, you know, a year from now.
50?
50, yeah.
Wow,
50
nice.
agents a year from now. And just teaching a duplicatable system that my agents can duplicate also.
Okay.
So, more of like teaching someone how to fish at this point.
How could they make their $100,000 in their first 12 months?
Right. And then how can they build their team, right? Yeah. So, finding people that can do the same thing as you, definitely.
And then because I mean, building is such a major thing, right? That's going to continue your legacy. Is there a type of person that you look for when you're building a team?
You definitely want to find someone who you think is better than you, right? You're going to get a lot of people that want to come in and just sell insurance, but if you find that person that's really motivated and they're like, I want more for myself, I know what this industry can do, and I want to build my own agency, like sometimes you'll hear that from them right away. And they know
just on the interview.
Yeah, they know the game already. They already know what they can do with it. So, you know, you just pick up little cues like that. Like you can tell. You can tell when someone, you can kind of have a feel for them.
Okay. And would these people have you seen more success teaching somebody from scratch or bringing somebody in that already has their license?
I mean, really, it's up to the person and how much they want to do it. You know, you can't really tell with how well someone's going to do it from the beginning, right? Like, it's up to them and how much they prove themselves. Anyone can sell themselves in an interview, but not everybody can back it up. So we've had producers that came in from other insurance companies and killed it, and we have producers from other companies that came in and did nothing.
Wow.
Right? And we had new agents that came in with no experience before, like one of my agents, Lola, he came in and placed like $280,000 his first year. So, and he never sold insurance. So you really can't tell. It's how much someone wants it, really.
That's amazing. And I think that's something that's true in every field, you know? You can't really judge somebody off of the interview. You just have to see the work and kind of figure out what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
It's an exciting journey for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to sit down a little bit. It's such a beautiful view. We got to enjoy the marina a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But if there's something you want to leave to the people tuning in, whether it's about you, your team, or retirement in general when you're putting money away, go ahead and say whatever you need as a last statement.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just blessed by being in this industry, by given the opportunity. You don't see it until you're in it, right? Like, the amount of money I make is obviously it's good, but it's secondary compared to the lives I changed. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love to have the opportunity to help other people do the same thing. If you want to learn more about the industry, obviously you can look at my website, thehudsonagencyla.com, and find a little bit on there. So
thehudsonagency.com?
The Hudson Agency LA.
Oh, okay. thehudsonagencyla.com.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Instagram, do you talk to people on Instagram or mostly just website?
Instagram, well, you can go to the website. I think my IG is connected to there, so it's also the Hudson Agency on there. So, but thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to learn more about retirement or building a team, or just in general have questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll have much more going on in future. If you have specific questions for Elisha, reach out to me or her. Visit the website. So thank you guys.
Peace.
Peace.